Hello, everyone, and welcome to a virtual session of ICASSI 2020. We have a major pandemic going on, and it actually stopped us from going to ICASSI. However, it couldn't stop us from bringing ICASSI to you. So this is a time for everyone to draw on their creativity to find solutions for all of the problems that come with difficult times. I am so grateful to have the wisdom of Alfred Adler to turn to for guidance, because he put great emphasis on the power of the child's creativity. There have been many discussions about the importance of heredity and environment and the influence of each one on the child's personality. Most people think it's both. Adler never argued about whether one or the other was important. He said they're both important. However, there's a third factor that's even more important: the creative power of the child. He said, of course, there's heredity, and of course, there's environment. But the creative power is more important, because each child will take what he or she has been born with and into and decide what to build with this information. So, what shall I build? Each one will interpret both heredity and environment and then decide what to do. Shall I build a small hut, a log cabin, a castle, or just a nice home for a family? Heredity is like the bricks you get. Environment's the cement. Each child in your family will build something different. Adler said the individual is both the picture and the artist. No two will be exactly the same. Now, we had another Adlerian, Sophia de Vries, who she also had a quote on creativity. She said, the creative power with which the child is born can be so strong that it finds a way out that nobody had thought about. So, how will I use my creativity to handle a very difficult situation like the deadly virus that's spreading around the world right now? There will be physical needs. There will be restrictions to follow. We'll have to provide safety for family and self. We'll have to decide what to believe, because there'll be a lot of opinions and a lot of ideas, but we'll have to decide. We'll have to decide based on health and safety. In addition to the physical needs, there are also specific psychological needs that lead to mentally healthy individuals. Parents and teachers want the same thing. They want their children to have self-esteem. They want them to be able to make friends. We want them to recognize the skills they have and be confident in those skills, developing confidence, learning how to solve problems, and have the courage to confront difficult situations. I actually have an idea that every day you will make a mistake, and every day there will be a problem. So the best thing we can do for our kids is to teach them that mistakes are okay. They are prerequisites to being human beings. It's not the mistake that's as important as what you do about it. And we definitely have to teach them how to solve problems. Really important. So, we know that raising children is hard, but it can be very rewarding, especially if we learn what they need and how to provide those needs. Thank goodness for Adler, because he gave us the tools to be successful. His theory teaches 4 essential psychological needs. The basic requirement is the need for affection, to belong. The child is born with this need, and it never goes away. Every child must find a way to belong, to fit in. We are social animals. We need other people. We don't survive without them. Next, he described the need to grow, to learn, to improve. Oh, he fell over. Oh, Thank goodness there's somebody there to help him. You will see it in every child who is learning to walk. That child will get up and fall down 1,000 times, but he won't give up until the skill is achieved. So parents have two very important jobs. They have to connect with their children, that idea of having them belong. I always want to feel that there are people there for me. And then parents also have to train for self-sufficiency, for independence. They have to feel contented with other people and also be independent, just in case those other people aren't around. So, good luck, parents. Rudolf Dreikurs, who wrote Children the Challenge in 1964, said parental love is best demonstrated through constant encouragement toward independence. So, mamas and dads, let's teach those kids how to run the washer. You know they can do that by the time they're about 8 years old. It's only a few buttons, and it's helpful. And let's make sure we're teaching them about cooperating. So let's do some jobs together, like the dishes. How about I wash, you dry? So why is independence so important? Well, becoming independent is how self-confidence develops. First, a child needs help, and then he learns what he can do without help. So we're moving the child from needing help to being able to do it on his own. So independence is not the final step in psychological growth. Since we're social animals, we need to become interdependent. We need to know how to connect with others and help them. We need to be assuming responsibility, cooperating, caring about others. Now we're at the next psychological need, the need to be needed, to find significance in our life. This need requires social interest, to be interested in the interests and needs of others. A lot of us borrow from Adler, and Adler also borrowed. He borrowed the words of an unknown British author when he tried to describe the meaning of social interest. He said, it's to see with the eyes of another, to hear with the ears of another, to feel with the heart of another. Adler said it was really important. Social interest was the key to mental health. His word for it in German was Gemeinschaftsgefühl, a beautiful word that has no adequate translation. But we can describe it in other ways. And what he said was, every human strives for significance, but people always make mistakes if they do not see that their whole significance must consist in their contribution to the lives of others. Mental health, folks. Social interest means we develop ways to belong and we contribute. So Adler's fourth requirement was the need for encouragement. Really, really critical. There is no child, no group, no system that will work without encouragement. Dreikurs thought it was really important. His favorite saying was that a child needs encouragement like a plant needs water. You don't survive without it. So, how do we do it? Well, we say or do things that inspire. We recognize improvement. We concentrate on what goes well. Maybe you've only got 3 right out of 20, but let's see what you did to get those 3 right. And maybe tomorrow you'll get 5 right. It'll still be a failing paper, but let's look at the improvement. And we find strengths. We find lots and lots of strengths, not just academic and athletic skills, but lots of other things that kids can do that don't get graded for in school, like cooking or making friends or fixing things or just being a helper. So all of these human requirements need other people. People who believe in us, people who provide guidance for us and continuously provide courage. Now, every one of us is going to need at least one person who believes in us, somebody who enjoys my company, somebody who likes me just the way I am. Two would be good, but we have to have at least one. Children aren't encouraged when we keep telling them what they did wrong, pointing out their mistakes, or my favorite is, oh, you could have done much better on that. Those are not words of encouragement. They don't make a child feel better. So when Christopher Robin was encouraging Winnie the Pooh, he said, "You're braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, and smarter than you think." That was encouraging. So he was commenting on Pooh's strengths, on what he already had. So we need an easy to remember formula. Adler said we'd have these 4 psychological needs, but they're not so easy to remember. So my co-author, Amy Lou, and I decided that we needed an easy formula so that we could teach it to children, students, couples. And so we changed the words around a little bit, but it's not a Bettner and Lou theory. It's Adler's theory made simple. So we took belong and made it connect. Improve and grow becomes capable. Significant becomes count. And encouragement becomes easy, just courage. Now, about the need for creativity. The Corona-19 virus invites us to use our creativity to find new ways to connect, to identify our skills we didn't know we had, and how they might be needed in some new and different ways, and calling on our courage to try without fear of failure or fear of making mistakes. So I am very happy to have a talented friend who knows about the importance of crucial C's, and she's willing to help me by sharing how she puts all of them into practice. So, hi, Madison.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good.
Really? You
Yeah.
look great.
Thank you.
So we have this invisible audience. We have no idea who's going to be watching us, but could you please introduce yourself to these folks?
So I'm Madison. I'm 15. I have 1 brother, 2 stepsisters, and I live with both my parents.
So it's a full house.
Yeah, 6 people.
Nice. Well, I've already sent you a list of questions, and so you know all about the crucial C's because I think I actually saw you present the crucial C's at a NASAP meeting one time. Maybe you were about 9 or so.
Yeah, I think I just turned 9.
Yeah, did a great job. So now we're during this pandemic and we're looking to see who's getting the crucial C's. So for you, especially when we're not allowed to be with others, how are you finding ways to make the connections now?
Well, I've been trying to FaceTime my friends a lot recently and making sure that I see them face to face, even if we social distance, like going on a walk. I also use Snapchat a lot to see my friends.
That's a famous one.
Yeah. And then it was my birthday, like at the end of April, so they all drove by to say happy birthday to me.
Nice.
Now
those are friends. Those are real friends.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You can definitely tell during this pandemic who tries to reach out and who doesn't reach out to know the difference. I've been making food with my parents a lot too, trying to connect, not just verbally, but also on that level. I've been bike riding with my brother a lot, trying to stay active during all this.
Now he's how much younger than you?
He's 13.
Okay.
So.
Well, younger siblings love it when older siblings give them some time, pay attention to them. So he's the winner here.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Yeah.
I've been running with my dad as well. And then I paint rocks with my family a lot. And then we
paint
put them
rocks?
Around. Yeah. And then we put them around the neighborhood.
And so you have more time to do it now.
Yeah, definitely, especially with summer now.
Great. So you've had no problem with the connecting part.
No.
So we're on in-home quarantine. So how do you grow, improve, and feel even more capable at this time?
Yeah, I've definitely been doing a lot more around the house. Like I have bunnies, so me and my stepdad built a bunny cage for them for outside so they can be inside and outside. And I've also been gardening with my parents with all this extra time we've gotten. Like we just ordered a hot tub and stuff, so like I've been
Ooh.
helping them move everything.
Well, I always hate to say it. It's like, what have we gotten out of this quarantine? But I think we've really gotten the gift of
Yeah.
time,
Yeah.
and we have to learn new ways to deal with it.
Yeah.
Anything else on the capable end?
Yeah, I redid my room for my birthday. So
Oh,
like we painted it all this stuff. And then we also did woodworking in the bottom of my floor because I have carpet, but when my bunnies, like they chew the carpet. So we
yes,
got all
they do.
hardwood. So that's pretty good. And then I've also been like ordering online. I kind of feel like capable because I don't have a credit card because I'm only 15, but like I use my mom's credit card and then like I'll just give her cash or whatever. And I feel like I really feel capable because she like gives me like she trusts me with her credit card basically.
Very trusting relationship.
Yeah, but that's really it.
Okay, credit cards. Okay, and so we also have the third one, which is what's happening now to help you feel that you count, feel needed, valuable. You should
Yeah,
have lots of ideas for that because plenty of people need help.
yeah. Well, my mom like I can definitely tell during this quarantine I'll like do something small like take out the trash or whatever, but she'll really show her appreciation when I do it. And I don't know, it feels good to like to actually really help.
So it's
And
not one
then
of your real, like, regular chores.
no, I don't really have chores. They like some I have like a chore a day for summer and stuff, and I have to read and all this stuff. But my parents like especially during this quarantine, they've been asking me like what I want for dinner and stuff. So I kind of feel like cool, like oh I can pick this dinner today, and all that stuff. I also got a $15 gift card from school because I finished with a 4.0 GPA and above.
Hmm.
So
You think
that
you
was
would have
pretty
done
cool.
it even if you knew you weren't going to get $50?
Yeah,
Good, because we like to warn parents about rewards,
yeah,
thinking that we're training kids to only work for the
yeah.
reward, but I don't hear that in your case. I think it
No.
would have been a 4.0 no matter what.
Yeah, like everybody just got drawn into it and I randomly got selected, so it was pretty
Rand,
cool though. Yeah.
randomly, but with a 4.0.
Yeah. And
Congratulations.
then thank you. My parents have been like asking me to do more things, so I kind of feel like like I count to on them. And they really have been counting on me recently, like with big purchases and all that stuff. And like getting my room redone and picking out everything what I want to do. I feel like that's really cool. And then
This
lastly,
has really worked for you.
yeah, this quarantine I've really grown as a person, I definitely think.
So then we're looking about experiencing encouragement because we need it. Everybody needs it. The Latin and French parts of the word C-O-U-R, C-O-R, C-O-E-U-R mean heart. It's to put heart into people. That's why it's so important. So where are you getting your encouragement now? I've already heard some of it, but
Yeah.
even more. Mm-hmm.
Well, definitely my parents and my siblings and everybody. They really, and like, especially for my birthday, like, I normally wouldn't have like a full out party, but my parents really tried to like go all out. So I kind of feel like, oh, we're getting through this. The advertisements on TV I've seen a lot. They're like saying how they can get through it and all that stuff with famous people. And then feeling bored makes me like take more risks, kind of. So it's like, oh, I can do this now. When my mom lets me make my own decisions and chores to do, I kind of feel like, oh, I can like, she counts on me to do all that. And then when I go on a walk, do my homework and all that stuff, it's really cool.
So you've made the best,
Yeah,
made the best
definitely.
out of a bad situation. I'm hoping a lot of families are finding those ways.
Yeah.
So we know about that the virus has presented situations that have just changed everything. Things that were unimaginable just a few months ago, and now we have to face them with new courage and without losing hope, really. So we're going to shift to the second part of the crucial C's. We have been talking about how you get them. Now we need to talk about how you give them, how you find ways to provide the crucial C's for others. We've heard several suggestions from you already, but how about that second set where ways you have found to connect with others in different ways? Any that we missed?
Yeah. So I have like neighbors that I'll go on bike rides with, but I never really like talk to them. So I feel like I've connected with them on a different level. I can kind of talk about some things that have happened in the neighborhood recently and all that stuff. And it's good because like some people that don't live in my neighborhood don't understand some things that like happen in the neighborhood and all that stuff. So it's kind of cool. I've also
Really?
been playing, yeah, I've been playing basketball with my like different neighbors that I normally don't used to play with, and it's kind of cool because it's like everybody's so different and stuff. So it's good for me to get better for basketball playing with a bunch of different people because if you play with like the same people, you know what they're gonna do most of the time. So that's good.
Actually, I keep thinking it makes us see the things that we would never do if we hadn't had this
Yeah.
quarantine. Or there was some studies done years ago about post-traumatic stress disorder, and
Yeah.
they actually discovered that for, I think at the time it was about 10% of the people actually have what they now call post-traumatic stress growth. That
Ah.
there are people who have written wonderful stories about how they had terrible things happen and how they grew from it.
Yeah.
So that's what we're doing with all this time we have.
Yeah, definitely. I've also been
Okay.
helping my mom with puzzles too.
Oh, I
Yeah.
heard that that's one of the new best-selling items. People are buying puzzles.
Yeah, she likes to do them, and I feel like it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool to like to see all the pieces different and then how they all like come together too.
Just like a family,
Yeah.
all different, but we need every piece to make it
Yeah.
whole. Okay, so how have you been able to help others develop skills or offer a skill or behavior that was beneficial to others? I know some of these will overlap,
Yeah.
but they might come up as a separate category.
Yeah. So my brother with school, of course, because he doesn't like to learn digitally. He's more of a face-to-face person. So I'll be like reading something to him and he'll like try to understand it and all this stuff. But I feel like he really, really did good during this quarantine with learning digitally from week 1 to week 11 that we had. Um,
Well,
Learning
I think
technology.
there are some subjects that really you need to learn one-on-one. I think math
Yeah.
is best learned
Math.
that way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I've also been learning like more technology. Like my brother had to do Zoom calls for his soccer team, and I would like always help him set it all up. Like I made him like this little wood stand to put his phone on, so that when he did it, it would like show a good angle exactly where it is. So like I feel like he's a soccer player. He's also gotten better sport wise over this quarantine, especially with basketball. We've been playing a lot. And then I've also been teaching my dog some like new tricks because I have a puppy and a dog. So like the dog will kind of like do the trick and then the puppy will be like, oh, I get a treat if I do the trick. So like that's also something that is kind of cool to see them grow as well. And it kind of
Nice.
benefits my dogs too in the same time. And then it was hard for some of my friends to adapt to online learning. So I've been like helping them. I've been sending them like practice sheets to do, especially for math, because I'm like in the top class for math and like some of my friends aren't. So I feel like it's cool to catch up on that too.
Well, you have
But
to be very independent to be good at
yeah,
math.
yeah, you do. And then the last thing I've really done is ordering things for my brother's birthday to help my mom because my mom just didn't have a lot of ideas and all that stuff. So I really, really helped her, she said. So it was pretty good to help other people, and it felt good for me too.
They actually, some research says that you get more pleasure out of helping people than out of actually receiving a lot of things.
Yeah, I
There's
can definitely see
some
that.
kind of euphoria to it, to think that they really did need me.
Yeah.
Mhm. Okay, one more category. Um, the encouragement part. So What kinds of words or behaviors do you use to help others feel good about themselves?
Yeah, I've been recently giving my mom a lot of hugs because she's been under a lot of stress because she moved up in her job position. So like she was getting a bigger job, so it comes with more responsibility for her. So I've been giving her hugs and all that stuff to help her. Saying please and thank you a lot more. And then I've also been telling my mom that she can get through this because, you know, it's pretty hard for her to do all this online learning plus be a mom 24/7.
And so you're learning what a hard job that is. For
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
I think a lot of times in families, we don't say please and thank you enough.
Yeah.
Especially the grown-ups. I'm even wondering while you're talking about what other teens around the world are doing to give the crucial C's. Maybe we'll hear from some of them.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll give them some ideas. Anything we left out?
No, I've been saying like love you to a lot of my family members more because my grandma's been in and out of the hospital during COVID, and I know that's very scary for her and my grandpa, but they're all safe now.
Sigh of relief.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's really it.
Madison, it's been such a help. Well, thank you for sharing your ideas and I think this is what we try to do to bring the crucial C's to life, because we know when we're discouraged about things, but we don't know what's missing. And I think if we could teach about these 4 things that human beings need, it would be easy to see what's missing. That's what a friend of mine does. She just has her husband ask her, well, did you feel disconnected today? Did you feel inadequate? Did you feel not needed, unnecessary? Did you feel inferior? She says, I can identify more with those feelings when he asked me those questions. Well, when I talk with teenagers like you, well, I don't call them teenagers, actually, I call them young adults. I feel optimistic about the future. I think we're in good shape, and I'm watching kids all over the world now do great things.
Yeah.
And you're one of the great ones.
Thank you.
Thanks, Madison.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
What are we doing in our families and our communities as parents and friends and neighbors? What are you doing to connect? Are you finding new ways? I know some of them, the virus keeps us separated, but we still find ways, even if it's through the window. And I'm wondering, are you developing new skills or refining those you have? Maybe you're taking time to try something in a different way. But we can't say we don't have any time. And how about that count part? Who needs you? Who's there to respond to a need that you might have? We find all of a sudden that there are plenty of people who would like to have help, but they don't want to ask. So sometimes we have to find those people who need us and offer. If they say no, it's okay, but it's good to offer. And that courage, that encouragement. So where do you go for encouragement? And who can count on you to make their day better? Really important. If you have all 4 of the crucial C's, you're in good shape. It means you already have others. It means you are independent. It means you're needed and valued for what you contribute. It means you're resilient. All really important things. You already have it. So if you don't have them, you should make a plan to start the search and to see how you provide them for others. Sometimes we just have to tell people what we'd like to have from them, what would make us feel better. So, one final story. I saw an interview recently with a musician. His name is John Bon Jovi. You may have heard of him. He had to cancel his tour, a musical tour this year, as many people have had to do. And so he's written a new song. It'll be released in his next album. And it's not a plug for the album. It's just that I really was attracted to what he had to say. And the song has a sentence in it that says, if you can't do what you do what you can. So, since he can't do what he usually does, he and his family go to his restaurant and they cook and provide meals for hundreds of people who are hungry. So, I like the saying, if you can't do what you do what you can. So, best wishes for all of you to have a very healthy year. Look forward to the next ICASSI. And if you have time, why don't you pick up a copy of The Individual Psychology of Alfred Adler, because you're bound to learn something new.